All right, so in this video, we're going to be talking about how to identify congruent triangles, and what technically makes them congruent. So for the question, you're going to have three sets of triangles, and you're going to have to determine if they are congruent, which is like exactly the same thing. So just as a quick review, I'm going to show you guys some things. So when you have um, these little things over here, I'm going to just highlight them real quick. So I have a tick mark, which is just one little slash, and then that set of tick marks was just two, and then one here and two there. Those identify which two sets of line segments or angles are the same in a set of triangles or in just a figure that's given to you. So actually, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do this in different colors. So let's say I have, a line with a tick mark and a line with a tick mark. Those two lines are the same length. So if you'll have two tick marks, they're the same, or if they're three, they are the same. And the same thing goes with angles. If I have an angle and there's one line, sort of one little angle thing, that means that they are the same. If there's two, those two are the same, and if there's three, those are also the same. My drawings aren't that great, but you get the point. So when you do this question, you're going to start with, just start by identifying what is the same in these things. So I'm going to start with what I have here, and I have a side here, and then I'm going to do this side there, and then I'm going to do this angle. And I put them in different colors just to make it a little bit more easier to understand. So when you look at it, they look the same, right? All of those, if you just look at it, they look the same. But the order of which the angles and the sides are congruent or equal, will tell you if the whole thing is equal. Just because you have a same side and the same angle does not make the whole triangle equal. So when you look at this question, you're going to start with what you have. So, well, let me go back over here. So there's certain, what is it called? Postulates that determine if certain things are the same. So I'll just start with the ones that I have. There's only four that you're going to have to know for this quiz. And they're really pretty simple to understand. So S stands for side and A stands for angle. So when it says SAS, that stands for side, angle, side. Now, the order of which this happens is very important because if you go out of order, it's not going to mean the same thing. Okay, so the first one is side, angle, side, and the next one is angle, side, angle, and the next one is side, 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 and the next one is angle, angle, side. I would just say go write them down, write down what they mean. Again, A stands for angle, side stands for side. And if you have um, any one of these, that means that um, the two triangles, good grief, triangles are congruent. All right, so enough of the talking. I know you guys are like, get to it. But here we go. So side, angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, 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 and angle, angle, side. So what you're going to do is you're going to identify in what order this goes. So just start at one side, right? I'm going to start with my yellow, and then I have my side, right? And then I have an angle, the green angle, and then I have another side, okay? This, again, equals your side, angle, side postulate. So I would say this is congruent because GHI, which is, I'm just going to erase all this, GHI is the same as what? So you're going to make sure that, actually, let me bring this back a little bit so you can see it just a little bit better. So GHI, oh my goodness, I'm getting there, y'all. So side G side H, and then side I is going to be equal to what? So you're going to say, okay, well, that is next to this yellow one, right? And then it goes to the side closer to the blue, and then it goes to the angle. So that would go in the order of I, right? And then you would have the blue side, which is J, K. So you do have to note these in order, and I'll explain a little bit more when we go to the next one. And you would also use, again, that postulate you just found, which was side, angle, side. So SAS. Okay, so I know that first one took a little time, so hopefully we'll just blow through the rest of them. So anyway, so you start with your identifying what's the same, right? So those two are the same, and then that angle, and then that side, okay? So ABC, well, let me go back. So this would be side, so the yellow angle, and then the red side, and then the blue angle, ASA. Now, that is a postulate. So this one would be ASA over here, but now you have to make sure that you are ordering them in the same way. So ABC, right? ABC would be the same as the green, right? So notice these are the same, so that would be F, and then the side with none, which would be D, and then C, which is the yellow one, E. So ABC is congruent or similar to FDE, okay? Because of the ASA postulate. Does that make sense? Okay, and then the last one, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to go in with my highlighter, and I'm going to say, okay, well, I have this angle and that angle, and then I have this side and that side, and then I have this angle and that angle. Now, let's just talk about it real quick. Let's just roll into it. So I have V, the angle, right? And then I have that side, and then I have this angle. So side, angle, side is a postulate, but if you sort of look at it on this side, it's not in the same order. So let's say I have, I said side, angle, side. Angle, side, angle. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, so I have over here angle, this blue angle, right? And then I have this side, and then I have this angle. So they're not in order, or they're not in the same order as this one. So this is not congruent. Additionally, you can't just say, because I know someone's going to be like, well, there's a side, there's an angle, and then another angle, and then another side. It has to be directly next to each other. So if you notice how all of these were like this angle, I'm sorry, that side, this angle, and then that side. They're all right next to each other, right? And the same with this one. This angle, this side, this angle, all right next to each other. And it would be this angle, this side, this angle. So it would have to go in the same, like right next to each other. You can't just have like some random one over here, which would be the case in this. It has to be in the same order for both of them, and they have to be right next to each other. The only one that is not on here would, well, the only one that wouldn't technically be like right next to each other would be the side one. But that's all your sides are the same. And then the angle side one would be two angles right next to each other, and then one side, right? Yeah, so you just sort of have to look through it and it'll make sense once you go through it. But those are your postulates. This would not be congruent. That would be congruent. So I know this is sort of a long explanation, but there are a lot of small things that you have to know going into this question. So if you guys need any more explanations, just come and talk to me, and I will explain a little bit more and help you work through a couple of these problems if you need it. So good luck, guys. Let me know if you need anything.